Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you some eyeshadow do's and don'ts. This is the don't side and this is the do side. So I'm just going to be showing you some common mistakes and some tips and tricks that I've learned over the course of my life, I guess. So if you want to see my common mistakes and tips and tricks and do's and don'ts, then keep watching. So I always like to start by setting my eyelids. I'll just use a tiny bit of concealer, blend that out with a sponge. This will cover up any redness or unevenness on your eyelids. Then I'll go in with a nude eyeshadow or a face powder to set that. You want to make sure you're using plenty of powder, because if any part of that eyelid is tacky or sticky, then the eyeshadows will go on extremely patchy. So you want a smooth, even surface. The next step is making sure that you always have plenty of transition shades available. You want to go in with one that's just a tiny bit darker than your skin tone, and that way it will create a nice gradient effect. I'm going to put this right in the crease area, and I'm going to buff it out above the crease as well. This will help me blow the color out all over my eye. I'm going to use alternating between windshield wiper motions and circles to make sure that the product is evenly dispersed. And then on the don't side, I'm going to go in with a more tightly packed brush. And I'm going to go in with a darker color. So I'll be going in with this brown. And I'm not going to tap off the product. It's going to be a lot harder to blend out. Another thing that I should mention is when you're blending, you always want to hold your brush closer to the end, so like choke up on your brush. That'll help you use light pressure on your skin so that everything's easier to blend out. All right. Okay, so now on the good eye, I am going to take this brush to pack on some of the darker pigment, but I'm going to tap off my brush and I'm just going to pack it on the outer corner. I'm going to take the blending brush that I used on the transition shade, and I'm going to use that to buff this out. With eyeshadows, everything is about going slowly and using a tiny bit of product at a time so that you don't overdo it and then can't go back and fix it. I'm using small circular motions and kind of like buffing motions. Then I'll use some of this kind of medium brown shade, and I will put that on the edge of this color, and that will help it blend out even more. You always want to switch to a clean brush or a blending brush that you've been using that doesn't have dark product on it to blend out your darker colors. Do use a flat brush for any shimmery or foiled shades. This will help you keep the product focused on the area that you want it. Shimmery shades are kind of hard to work with anything but either a flat brush or your finger, because they kind of blow out everywhere and you get glitter all over your face. I usually will use my finger for the shimmery shades, or especially foils, because they just work wonderfully. On the don't side, I'm going to take a really fluffy brush with that shimmer, and we'll see how that goes. On the brow bone, I'm going to take this gold shimmery shade. On the do side, I'll focus this just on the arch. And on the don't side, I'm going to bring that shimmery, glittery shade all over, and it's gonna look very 80s. I also like to avoid using dark eye pencils in the lower waterline. This will make the eye look super harsh. Last but definitely not least, if you know you're going to be using harsh eyeshadow colors or intense ones or bold ones or anything really, then you'll want to make sure that you do your foundation after you finish with the eyes, because as you can see, there's a lot of fallout on my face, and if you've already, you know, concealed and set your concealer with powder, then there's no going back and there's no cleaning up that fallout. So I will make sure I do my eyes first, and then I'll go in and clean up with a makeup wipe. And you can see there's definitely fallout on my face, especially from that shimmery shade. But if you really want to do your foundation first, I do have a trick for that. Get loose powder and pat that pretty heavily underneath your eyes, and then you can wipe away any fallout with that loose powder. Alright guys, so that is it. This is the don't side, so don't do these things. Well, you can, but I'm just recommending that you don't. This is the good side. All of the things that I do recommend doing. All right, now I've got to pop off camera and fix this eye so I can go out in public and not be ashamed. All right guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So I will see you in my next one. Bye.